Aries.
Hello, Aries. Happy New Year. It is already 2015, and only those of us up there in the years know exactly how fast time is moving. But you know what? We're going to start off top of the month just to discuss January a little bit, and then what we're going to do, we're going to follow the cycle of Mars. Mars takes 2 years to complete your chart one time around. So within 2015, what it's going to do, it's going to take approximately 180 degrees, and we're going to see what that is going to do, which houses or areas of life, Mars, which is your goal, your ambitions, your direction, your energy, your focus, where that's going to be for 2015. So, and then of course we're going to also look at the long-term aspects of the planets that are moving very, very, very slowly, and which areas they're going to be affecting you as well. So let's just take a look at top of the month here, January, and for you, it's going to be very much so a career month. You've been working for it, Aries. Right now here, January 1st, what you have is Sun, Pluto, Mercury, and Venus. So, and the new moon, by the way. So you're going to have that little Kickstarter there, January 25th, with your intentions with that new moon in the area of career. But what the Sun and Pluto is going to do, well, it's just really going to hear the first couple of days, probably January 3rd or 4th, you're going to have that conjunction. And the Sun is you, Pluto's transformation in the area of a career, so pay attention to that day. It might just initiate a new start for you. Having Mercury and Venus here also, well, you're going to be communicating and you're going to be flowing with that communication. It's really going to come across heartfelt because Venus is right here close to that Mercury. So you're speaking from the heart, and you're also thriving in this area because Venus ensures that you're having a good time and you're liking what it is you feel that you're deserving. So when we have all planets up in the 10th house, yes, it kind of like correlates to your second house of income too when Venus is there, because Venus also rules money. So you might have some news about money here in January. Now the long-term aspects that we're having, let's talk about them. Start there. Uranus here is in your first house, as it has been for a long time. So you're still in this transformation, the letting go of the old you, embodying the new you. Uranus right now currently is 12 degrees. So we're nearly halfway through that 7+ year transit. So the first half of you, Aries, have already gone through it. You know what you've liberated from. Those of you who Uranus hasn't touched upon your sun yet, you still have that to come. So right now, those of you born midway through the sign, you're starting to feel this bubbly feeling that something is coming, and you will know what it is. But you know what? Even though Saturn separates, it only separates those things that you need to be liberated from. So it's a good thing. It's all about let go, let God. That's the message of Uranus. It's all about flexibility, and somehow sometimes it can be a little difficult for Aries because you are so goal-oriented and so feisty and so Marsy, always heading towards what you're focused on and giving it your all. So if your goals are like way too far ahead of you, give a little room, because Uranus can come to you when you expect it the least, with unexpected surprises, twists and turns. And so if you're open for the universe, which always knows best what is good for you, then you won't pass up opportunities, okay? Then we have Neptune. Neptune currently still in your 5th house. It's going to be there for years and years to come. But the 12th house is the spiritual house. It's your higher will, if you so wish to call it that, or your inner guidance or connections with your spirit guides. It's the house of Pisces, and Pisces is very creative. So you might just come to see that between spirituality and creativity artistically so. You might feel that things are coming up to you, stimulating your higher chakras of vision. That's what Neptune rules the best. So you might come to see how your vision, and you want to trust those visions or dreams that come to you, whether it's daydream or nocturnal dreams, doesn't really matter. It's the channel coming from the higher realms, connecting into your subconsciousness, and will flare up into your conscious level. So you can come to find a lot of inspiration here throughout 2015 once you know to hook in and how to hook into your Neptunian creativity and psychic awareness. Then we have Pluto. Pluto is and has been in your career house for some time. It's 13 degrees there now. We got years and years for it to cruise through and complete its journey in your career. So those early Arians of you, you've already undergone this tremendous, deep shift that only you know what is because it's in there for you. Those later Arians, slowly but surely, you're going to start feeling it. And it's kind of pretty much midway through. So midway through the sign of Aries. Those of you having your birthdays there towards the end of Aries, you're going to start feeling it. But only those that have your birthdays somewhere just between there in the mid aspect. So that's going to be able to come in and dynamically create for you deeper, not just insights, but more control, because it's you coming into power. Think about Pluto as power. Mars is dynamite. I always love to say that. And then Pluto is nuclear, right? So putting that together, your drive, your ambition, your goal, because your 10th house is ruled by Saturn. That's power in itself. It's mastery, right? So having Pluto here now, it's really fusing those two together. So you're growing into an opening up and expanding towards more responsibilities, growing into higher levels of career that you will see. The early Arians have already climbed the ladder into higher positions. The rest of you, you're under formation, so to speak, so that you can take on that kind of responsibility down the road. So it's all good, right? And you have that Marsy energy there with you, being Aries. So, you know, many of you are going to turn into some incredible, great leaders for the rest of us. So that's Pluto. But let's now take a look at Mars. Mars is starting out here initially in January in the sign of Aquarius. It's going to be there to January 13th. So that has to do with groups and organizations. So that's how you're starting off the year, focusing on maybe having a lot of interaction with your social networks or other networks that can behoove you, help you move ahead. Also, it's a good time to catch up with your friends. Why? Because it's going to be 2 years before it's going to move into this sign again. So you're going to see how it's going to be extra special for you right then. But then from January 13th, Mars is going to be cruising through your 12th house. It will, in time, catch up with Neptune that you have there. So Mars, goals, actions, drive, connecting with Neptune, visions, hopes, dreams, spirituality. You'll come to see that maybe you're going to birth forth some new concepts here that can be quite creative, and you want to listen to them when you have that. So this will be through between January 13th and that of February 20th. Then Mars will be moving into your first house, and your focus is going to be on you, Aries. This is your ruler, right? So your ruler is coming into your first house. You're going to show the world out there as it passes across the ascendants. You'll show the world what you've been dreaming up here when Mars went through that 12th house in January and into February. So whatever it is, it could be really good. It's like you're picking the cherries of the fruit and running with it and bringing it straight through this whole entire year. So fantastic new concepts can actually become quite profitable. So here, February 20th, when Mars is in your sign, it will remain there until April 1st. So make the most out of that between those 2 dates, April 1st through May 13th. Mars is then going to be focusing on your financial income house, how you make your money, what you're making, what more you would like to attract and put down as a new foundation. This is the time between now and the next 2 years that you can really harvest from this area. And so whatever changes you do, I think it will behoove you long term, of course, but it's also time for you to perhaps have some reviews at work, looking for promotions, maybe a raise will be here, and then between April 1st to May 13th. Good time to ask for a raise. It's all about your self-worth as Mars is cruising through Taurus. Taurus is all about self-worth, self-esteem, all the good things, luxury items that we have in life. So you might come to see that you might be pursuing these items here a little bit more and spending a little bit more money to get that good quality. May 13th through that of June 25th, Aries, Mars is then going to be focusing on short distance travel. Okay, it's your third house. Mars being your drive, you might feel the need to move around a little bit more. It doesn't really have to be long distance like early vacation. It could just be taking a road trip out of town. It's going to be really refreshing. It's doing the feng shui on the inside, so to speak. But it's also a great time for any kind of communications. If you're going to give any speeches or teach any groups, those of you who are going to be writing, great time for that too, for you to express yourself, because now your drive is here in this area till June 25th, where you can really grow wonderful things for the future. It's in the sign of Gemini. Gemini communicates. Gemini teaches us. Documents, papers, and so forth could also perhaps come to be quite important, so you want to pay attention to that. Maybe some of you are looking to move a little bit later in summer, so this could be a great time for you to do whatever research and contracts looking into that kind of money and funding. Your next Mars phase will be here between June 25th and that of August 9th. This is now when Mars is going to be moving through the home and family area. Your roots, what's important to you, your interaction here at home with family members, but it's also a time to repair what needs to be repaired. It's going to be 2 years till next time, so maybe there's a roof or some walls or some redecoration or any kind of upgrades. I see you really focusing here right now to beautify this energy. For those of you moving, great time and period for you to do so, to start these new beginnings here. And you might just have changes within the family. Some might be moving out, you may be remaining there. It could be children also now leaving the nest. Whatever the deal is, you'll just see that you're going to be interacting with family that much more here until August 9th. Then we are going to have a wonderful time for you. It will all be about vacation. If you're doing that here in August, you're going to love, love, love it. It's better here at this time than earlier on in the summer. And why is that? Well, you're going to have Mars in the 5th house of creativity, self-expression, doing all those things that you love to do, Aries. When you have time off, so maybe you'll have more time to golf or go shopping or travel the islands or go up to the cottage. Whatever it is, it's also romantic. The 5th house rules this. So for those of you single, this would be a wonderful time for you to meet somebody, maybe when you're out traveling. For those of you already in an established relationship, well, very cozy, and it's just going to tickle your heart pink. So this will be until September 26th. So you have good time here. You've got several weeks where you can find some time to have your romantic getaway. For those of you that have your own business, this same time frame would be good to initiate, start anything. Think about Mars as the igniter. Okay, so you're igniting the engine for your own inner creative projects. So if you do this now, you will have the power of Mars to be with you in this 2-year cycle until you get the next, hitch the next train, so to speak. And I see that you could be quite busy. What's beautiful is that Jupiter has somehow laid the foundation for you. Jupiter has been cruising through this area, now having moved into Virgo August 12th. But until August 12th, Mars is still here in this area, so it will meet up with Jupiter. Will be a fantastic time to open up these new doors for any kind of business, entrepreneurial-wise, here for you, Aries. So, you know, it's like if you're not taking notes right now, it's, you know, it would behoove you to come in later on in the year and re-listen to this New Year's forecast, especially when you come, say, halfway through the year. It's really nice to take a look back to see all those things that's fall into place already, because then you know what you can prepare for the second half of the year, and see how it all is going to now merge and rise and come together for you. Jupiter in this 5th house, you've had it since that of summer of 2014. I think you're already loving it. You've already been able to reap a lot of these beautiful opportunities that Jupiter gives, but now you're preparing for Jupiter to move into your 6th house, which will take place here August 12th. And it will remain there for a year, and your focus then will not just be on creativity and your children, but it's more now your day-to-day routines. You're going to have it for a whole year, and you'll see how you're going to be changing up that diets and workouts and taking time off for yourself. So it's not just work. However, though, I do see that the work you're doing as far as career can also expand at this time, as it also here lines up to your sister sign, Capricorn, in the area of career. So you might just see how co-workers at this time can really behoove you, and you might just also be very supportive to them. Now, September 26th, then Mars is going into your 6th house. Jupiter is already there right now, so they're kind of like hand in hand moving into this area. So Mars is going to be very active here, help you situate this new area of Jupiter. And so you will see it right off the bat. You'll just see how your shift is like this. And so I think that's going to be a very potent time for you right there at that time here in September. And then it will end up in your relationship house for your committed partner, your significant other, throughout the rest of the year. So when we have Mars in that 7th house, it's all about what is it he or she wants. Okay, you're catching up here, focusing, giving more. But also, you might come to see how your partner will be doing that to you as well, that you'll be the recipient of his or her energy. So this area is really going to blossom for, 6 to 7 weeks, for however long this Mars is going to pass through. One good news feed here about Mars is that no retrogrades in 2015. It's going to hammer down really quickly through all these signs with no stop, no going back, no retweaking or anything. That means that our energies are going to be so focused and so aligned that what we're doing in the time of the transit, we will feel that the energy is not scattered. We're all, here connected in our inner core and being able to achieve a whole lot here through 2015. Now, just quickly, the other things I wanted to mention is the periods of Mercury retrograde here this year, and Mercury will retrograde from January 21st through February 11th. Not a good time to sign anything. If you don't have to, if you must, well, you got to do what you got to do. But if you can hold off, this would be the time to hold off. Then we have May 18th straight through June 11th and September 17th through October 9th. So we got those 3 periods, and they each last like 3 to 3.5 weeks. And this is also when you don't really want to spend a lot of money on new items, because they might just turn out to be a little funky. Then you got to return them to the store. Especially anything technical is always very tricky, or new vehicles and that kind of thing. Big objects, you want to refrain from that. So let me see, I think I've got what is mostly important. I just want to finalize here with the retrograde of Uranus. Uranus is going to retrograde 5 months this year, 2015, between July 26th and that of December 25th. For you, you have this retrograde in your first house, so that has to do with all those things that you want to establish here with yourself and bringing it out to the world. So it's a time to kind of step back and reflect on what you have brought forward of these new things. Always think about Uranus as being genius, okay? It's those flashes of intuition and visions that we just download. They're like humongous zip files that we have, and our onboard biocomputer just opens it all up. So you know what? In that sense, it's good that we do have a retrograde, so we can process a lot of that inspiration that we have got. So July 26th, December 25th. Now Neptune, which is our spiritual connection to the universe, also that ability to forgive and love, it's all that unconditional love that we hold in our hearts, and our creativity too. June 12th through November 18th, Neptune will be retrograde, so this is a time to kind of step back and review the inspiration that you've been receiving spiritually, and then work with it. April 16th through September 24th, that is Pluto, which is in your 10th house of career. So push on forward towards this date and then step back. Then you're just cruising and allowing whatever new routines that have come in to kind of like the set roots, right? So you'll have a little bit of an easier time there those months in the career area. So listen, Aries, you want to go and listen to your partner, what's coming up for him or her, which areas he or she will be focusing on, and see how that's going to correlate with you. And I will see you now.